are. It's what we've all been looking forward to, all been waiting on. MotoAmerica has not been here to Mid-Ohio since back in the AMA days. I guess it's been 10 years or more since we've been here. And everybody has been looking forward to this. Track got repaved in the off season. A lot of teams are here. Everybody's excited. So here we are. Luckily for us, this is a home track for Brian. He knows it like the back of his hand. He rides this track in his sleep. So we've got that to our advantage. Definitely going to try to exercise that advantage against the competition here. They were allowed a test day yesterday, MotoAmerica put on. So the guys are still going quick. Our competition is, you know, they're going to show up ready to race. We got the variable of the weather. Not really sure what that's going to do. But I think for us, with an experienced rider like Brian at this track, we'll be able to manage it. So we're just going to send it.
Fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm fast driven. We are not the same, this is not a game. I've been swerving through the city in and out of lanes. Yeah, cause if I see it, then I want it, then you better know I got it. Ain't no options, I'm about to do the damn thing. I'm an outlaw, you can never catch me. Having first place, you can never. These are the moments, only got one life. This is your moment, whether wrong or right. Your own enemy, your own enemy, yeah. When I fall, I keep running. Feel the
Yesterday was good. Today it's wet. Rained a ton last night. Been fighting some lack of feel with the bike, and felt good in practice. Wanted to go a little faster.
At decent pace, really not quite enough for the competition. Man, we were really close. The first practice, we were about just 2/10 off of that cutoff limit. We were actually into that limit by 2/10.
Went into qualifying, went almost a second faster, and came in during qualifying to like have a little talk, see if we can make any changes, just talk to the guys, rest a little bit, 30-minute session.
Get into qualifying one, just as expected, everybody went faster. And we ended up 1/10 of a second outside of the cut. All right, so we're on the outside looking in right now. We kind of hate dancing around that line because the rider rep can actually give us a provisional start with the times like that, but there's no guarantee at all. It just kind of depends on a lot of factors. We don't like to play those games.
Got to go harder. The guys took the shock off the bike, took the linkages off, took the triples off, took the port caps off. The guys worked hard last night and to make the bike better, and I slept and give it my best shot.
Qualifying 2 is coming up soon. Made a lot of changes to the bike. Brian and I were looking at the data from yesterday. We know some areas where he's going to try to improve. Really, I think all we need is about a half a second minimum. Maybe if we go a second faster, which doesn't sound like much, but it's kind of a lot considering he's turning some of his fastest times ever yesterday. But if he can put some more time under his belt here, we're gonna get it. We're gonna make it happen.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby. Don't let them rain on your spark. Keep it close to your heart. All of the pressure's gonna drive you crazy. Close your eyes to the madness. In the morning it's all gonna vanish. Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you.
Recap of the weekend. A lot of rain, a lot of sunshine, a lot of not doing well.
Kind of ended up really not where we wanted to be. Yesterday morning, Q2, had a couple of red flags, and I think that just kind of threw Brian out of his rhythm. Never really got going. We made some changes, some big changes on Friday night to the bike. with the hopes that that was going to give him some help. And looking at the times, looking at the data, it looks like it did. Just didn't really have enough time to get out there and kind of get his rhythm going, drop his times, so didn't quite make it.
Just didn't qualify good enough. We were 4,000ths out at our best, 4,000ths of a second. And it wasn't good enough. They had 34 bikes on the grid, so didn't need another one, didn't need to make an exception for me.
As it was, we did kind of petition for a provisional start, which is one of the things that you can do in MotoAmerica, because we were actually 0.085 seconds, less than a tenth of a second, outside the cut. But really, unfortunately, they just weren't able to allow us to make the grid. So that was kind of it. So really, that was a disappointing end, but it's kind of what happens sometimes when you're dancing around that qualifying limit.
And I felt more comfortable on the bike at the end of our Q2 than I did in the beginning, but all in all, wasn't good enough. We've made plans about what to do moving forward, and I'm going to sell the Triumph. I haven't gelled with it. It's a great bike, handles well. It's got a lot of nice fancy shit on it, but I don't really enjoy riding it that much, so we're going to get rid of it. And I've offered it to Jamie, the crew chief, suspension guru, to run the bike at COTA, put the handlebars on it and remove the bodywork, and he can run it as a hooligan. I think he's heavily considering it. We've talked about it a bunch. I think he might end up doing it. And I've offered another bike that I've got to Greg Reisinger, who's the owner of the endurance team I ride on. And he might run an SV1000 in hooligans at COTA. So then we'll be turning wrenches. We'll see how that goes. But for next year, we'll probably build a hooligan.
So wreckers to checkers. I mean, man, it's crazy to think that it's been, really 2 seasons now. I think it was maybe January or February of last year. Brian got the bike, he conceived of the idea. Everybody started rallying together, and it was great. We had a lot of momentum last year. We kept making improvements. Over the winter, we kind of made improvements, and then we get to 2024, and it just kind of hasn't really come together the way we wanted. We want to feel like we're every weekend getting better and getting better, but it's starting to feel like maybe we were just chasing our tail a little bit and still flirting with that qualifying limit, and didn't qualify at Atlanta, qualified at MotoAmerica, and we didn't qualify here at Mid-Ohio. I think this was the most disappointing because this is Brian's track. I mean, this is his home track. He spent a ton of time on here, and I know he was really looking forward to it. He was really excited to kind of show what his potential was, maybe kind of even the playing field with some of the riders out there that don't have the experience on the track like he does. And then we just kind of missed it. It really isn't a storybook ending that we were hoping for. It really is ending it on a low note. But sometimes that's what happens. I mean, I know Brian has really poured his heart and soul and his pocketbook into this project, and sometimes it just has to come to an end. It's the problem with being an adult. You have to sometimes make a decision that you'd rather not. And unfortunately, I think that's where we're at now. This is it. So the Triumph is a super sport bike for Brian Mullins, Wreckers to Checkers team. This was it. This is the finale.
Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby. So let them rain on your spark.
Okay, so I'm standing here, Brian's pit, with my gang here, and the intrusive thoughts are taking over.
It's only 19 hours from here.
Whether or not we're gonna drive 19 hours and race a Triumph and hooligans.
We can just.
You
were already going anyway. You were gonna go with Brian.
So these are the intrusive thoughts I'm talking about. You can't let the evil, can't let the
backside of my Kaylee.
Come up with the name of the team.
We gotta come up with the name of the team. Hooligangsters. Hooligangster style. And so, I'm sitting here contemplating life, I realized that I got the SV, racing the SV, was because of that guy.
Mostly flat.
And that's the same guy
It's, yeah.
that's forcing this on me.
Would I like to go? Sure.
He's a positive influence.
I'm not a
Yeah.
MotoAmerica.
Positive
Okay.
life.
So we got some thinking. We got some thinking.
I can.